Today we're going to be looking at the Alabama High School Allstate Etude for oboe. We're going to look at the lyrical one. So this lyrical etude is divided into three sections. The beginning is the cantabile appassionato. That means in a singing style with passion. It's in 3/4, and the key signature is C minor. As you see, there's three flats, B flat, D flat, and A flat. Now the second section is the piamoso. This means more movement. Now this section is in 2/4, and it changes keys to C major. The third section is the molto minimoso. This means very less movement, and it's in 3/4. Now that we've looked at the surface of the piece, let's dive a little deeper into some measures that might raise challenges. So in measure 3, as you can see, there's a note that's printed smaller than the rest of the notes. This note is called a grace note. Now the grace note should be played before the downbeat of the next note. So an easy way to learn how to play grace notes is to sneeze. When you sneeze, you say achoo. The is the grace note and the chew is the beat. So in measure 3, if you count it without the grace note, it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and. If you add the grace note in, you should count it like this. 1 and achoo and 3 and. So on the oboe, it's going to sound like this. There you go. Now in measure 4, you have a grace note added to a triplet. So when you think of that triplet with a grace note, it's a chupalet, a chupalet. So if you count the measure without the grace note, it's a triplet, triplet, 3 and. With the grace note, it's triplet, a chupalet, 3 and. That sounds like this. So the next thing we're going to look at is in measures 18 and 19. What we have in those measures is called a turn. A turn is 5 notes that are not written that are going to be added on that third beat of the measure. So in measure 18, it's going to be D, then up to E flat, back down to D, down to a C sharp, and then back to D. Now these 5 notes are added on the third beat of that measure. And how we're going to count that is by using the word mathematical. So if you add those 5 notes to the syllables mathematical, it'll help you play it in the right rhythm. So to count this, we're going to go 1, 2, mathematical, 1, 2, mathematical. So this is what measure 18 sounds like. Now measure 19 is the same thing with different notes. So you see that it starts on an A natural. So you're going to go A natural up to B flat, back down to A natural, down to a G sharp, back up to A natural. So that measure sounds like this. Now if you add both 18 and 19 together, let's just do it counting first. So you have 1, 2, mathematical, 1, 2, mathematical. And now it sounds like this. The final thing we're going to look at is the piamoso section. This section changes time signature. It's in 2/4, and it is slightly faster than the beginning of the etude. So there's a lot of 32nd notes and 16th notes in this section, and it might give you cause for concern. But if you just count it in a fast 4/4 rather than a 2/4, it might help you out a lot. So you can even write it out in 4/4 if you would like. So if you count it in 2/4, it's 1 and 2 and 1 and triplet, triplet, 1 and 2 and. But if you count it in 4/4, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and triplet, triplet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 3 and a 4 and a 1, 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So counting it in 4/4 will help your rhythm be a lot better and for you to be able to play those 32nd notes with ease. Now that we've dived deeper into the piece, I'm going to play the etude so you can hear what it sounds all together. Have fun practicing and good luck at your audition.